Leon Festinger, the author of the theory of cognitive dissonance, suggested that people generally strive for consistency between their personal attitudes and behaviors. Therefore, when one's behaviors do not line up with their attitudes, it's called cognitive dissonance. Spiritually speaking, we may also experience a level of cognitive dissonance. For instance, you remember when Jesus asked, "But why do you call me Lord and do not the things which I say?" Luke 6:46. The attitude they claimed did not match their actions. In Romans chapter 2, verses 17 through 24, it's an inspired case study of spiritual cognitive dissonance. The writer Paul said, "Indeed, you're called a Jew and rest on the law and make your boast in God and know his will and approve the things that are excellent, being instructed out of the law, and are confident that you yourself are a guide to the blind, a light to those who are in darkness, an instructor of the foolish, a teacher of babes, having the form of knowledge and truth in the law. You therefore who teach another, do you not teach yourself? You who preach that a man should not steal, do you steal? You who say do not commit adultery, do you commit adultery? You who abhor idols, do you rob temples? You who make your boast in the law, do you dishonor God through breaking the law? For the name of God is blasphemed among the Gentiles because of you, as it is written." Now, the Jews claimed spiritual and religious exceptionalism, and yet their actions painted a much different picture. They professed a God-centric position on morality and boasted of being a bright light to the Gentiles. They bragged about their knowledge of Scripture and being teachers of that Scripture. However, by implication, Paul told them that they were really ignorant of God's laws, and they were thieves, adulterers, idolaters, lawbreakers. Paul went on to tell them that instead of honoring God, as they claimed, they dishonored. No, they denied God in the presence of the Gentiles. Can you think of some areas in your life where your strong claims of faithfulness to Jesus and His Word don't really line up consistently with your behaviors? In other words, what are some areas in your life where you're experiencing spiritual cognitive dissonance? Perhaps you'll sing a song like to the work on Sunday, but the balance of the week is really empty of telling anyone about Jesus. Maybe you talk about the importance of kindness and gracious speech with your friends at church, but to your family at home, you're really not very kind. It could be that you're diligent in teaching your children to keep themselves pure and to save themselves for marriage, but you permit them to dress immodestly, dance provocatively, and participate in extracurricular activities where their clothing leaves very little to the imagination and their behaviors are lascivious. Maybe we teach our little ones things like it's really important to go to Bible class and to go to worship, but when we're vacationing or there's a really big game or special event, we just skip church. On Sunday, we sing about being pure in heart, but we watch and we post about and discuss the most unholy and impure shows and movies that are on television and at the theater. Perhaps many of us are more like the Jews that Paul discussed in the verses that we just read than we would really care to admit. The truth of the matter is, we have a natural inclination to lean towards spiritual cognitive consistency. What that means is, generally speaking, we know what we should be doing and what we should not be doing. However, we'll choose things that take us away from that spiritual center sometimes, Jesus. Well, greater life satisfaction is going to come to the Christian who is true to their core, and that is Jesus and His Word. Perhaps these things have been helpful to you this morning. They've been helpful to me as I've reflected on them. Well, may God bless you. I hope you have a great week and a wonderful weekend.